Welcome. This is Crime Queen, and if you're joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we get excited about love. This is where we ignite that which comes alive, that which makes us smile. Hence, we say the crimson light is live. So, the crimson light is our journey to actualizing self love. This is where we are having fun with words and numbers. And if you're new to this channel, of course, we'll just do a quick template from what we work with, because everything has now derived from sacrifice. Sacrifice. Let's see what sacrifice. Okay, this is our template. SACRIFICE. That's the word we are working with. And numerical values from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, an alphabet. Let's use a contrast for that, the alphabet. I have arranged this and I'm going over this, so if you're new, perhaps you'll grasp the essence of what we do here. So all the letters of the alphabet has a numerical value according to these numbers from 1 to 9. Now here we have, it's usually A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on, of course, but I have changed some of the letters, their position, to make sense of them in a way that I could memorize them. But this intuition to do that seemed to be serving other purposes that coincides very well in finding resolutions to the numerical values of words from the scriptures. Okay, so there we are, JAS, that's jazz. I call it jazz as in music. And BKT, bucket, bottle, basket, but I prefer, well, bottle, there's no K. All right, luck, LUC, that's DVM for development, NEW for new. We love new. Fox, FOX. Now, for Fox, this is what I've done, and this is turning the X into a certain position. This is what we call the cross. So we found out this is what we do. Okay, and of course for 4 here, I do the same. This is 4. This is the red cross. Perhaps that's exactly what it means, the red cross. For 4, right here. Okay, and 7 is GPY, Gypsy Journey. This is where we are on this journey of personal development, but really I think we pass personal development on this side. When we get to Gypsy Journey, this is like we are on our way to heaven, high quarters. Okay, headquarters, high quarters, I call them both the same, HQ, Z. High quarters zone, headquarters zone, but in any case it's the 8 here, which is heaven and earth. You have come from earth, you're going into heaven. What are you going to do there? You are going to meet whoever it is in high chambers, of course, because that's the sort of world we live in. It's a hierarchical world, you know. There's order. Let's just put it, it's a world of order. Here is perhaps more of order, because I'll show you why. It is just really that place. It's like being in your parents' home. And you have a room in your parents' home, your bedroom, and you have the liberty to have your toys all over the place, and it's kind of really untidy. Mom tells you to clear up and all of that, but no, it's your room. You say, but it's my room, you know. And if mom says it's my house, you know, it doesn't matter. It's your room. But when you get to this section over to the right, that's a different ball game altogether. It really comes to the stage where, you know, you have to respect your parents' rules, otherwise they say to you, well, out. Okay, all right, so there we are on 9 now, inland revenue. That's the last place we go to pay our dues. We pay our dues. Now, sometimes I think it depends on how we do our tax returns. Sometimes we end up paying more than we should, or less, or get a penalty on, all sorts happens. So you may even get inland revenue. You may get what's the word now? You may get reimbursed. Who knows? They probably even keep it and say, well, till you get your next, you send in your next, your next assessment. Assessment. This is where we go back to assessment. I'm sure these people know exactly what they're doing. Revenue, assessment. This is the cycle. This is the cycle. Yes. Revenue and assessment. This ASS. All right. So the purpose of this presentation, however, is to really, let's give sacrifice has to go. We have to have the eyes, because it was about blood and bread and God knows, well, so much. So we have eyes for sacrifice, and we have revelation. Let's just take revelation. These are, okay, revelation. REVEL, revelation. TION. Okay, so revelation is of 10 letters, and we thought the 10 coincides with sacrifice, which its numerical value is 10. So the words for the letters for revelation is 10, that coincides with the numerical value of sacrifice, but the numerical value for revelation is 13, 1-3. This is what has been giving us a lot of insight. Yes, here. This is where we believe that the Last Supper was taking place. This is where I believe that there's an agreement here. Now, I'm just thinking, because I tend to see a lot through my peripheral vision somehow. I'm just thinking, is it possible that there is, which I have mentioned before, is it possible that the headquarters that Jesus Christ was really talking about might have been this one here? Is it possible? Could it just be possible that it is this one? I am beginning to believe, and of course, but he did talk about bread and wine. That's the thing. There's the thing. I keep wanting to see Christ all together on this side, but then again, this reminds me of what Emmett Fox said. Nothing can come into your consciousness unless you find something like itself on which to attach itself to. Meaning, for Christ to really help us get onto that side, he would have to find a way to entice us into what we already know. Now that makes sense. It's like he had to speak our language. Well, because you guys like wine and bread, okay, this is what you know. Now that makes perfect sense, because I remember when I went to St. Lucia and I thought, I was going to open this library, I was going to do something. I had to learn the people's language. It's like after a while, it's like, who tell you that we want a library? That was what they didn't say it verbally. Who tell you that we want this or we want that? So I had to learn their language to be able to get myself or engage with them. I had to learn, I had to understand, because I hadn't lived there for a while. So I decided, I picked up myself, went out there, thought, I'm going to just do things because everybody wants to grow. No. But of course, it's just the idea. And hey, that reminds me, John also said that in the New Testament. I became all things to all men. I think it might have been the same said of Christ. So now I'm feeling better about that now. I am feeling better about that. So What I am getting here now, this is just really delicious. This is delicious. What I am getting here is that Christ knew how to. He came to that point with people and say, okay, let's have bread and wine. And everyone was happy and having fun and all of that. And yes, I'm still trying to get how the bread and wine. But then it's in Luke chapter 22, I keep referring to this. It's where he said to find the man with the pitcher of water. Now we see what happened with water. We stick water here, water, with water. Now it kind of makes sense, because if water fits here, we are using that as a template because we believe that intuition is key. And there's an L here. It's like saying, this is really good, because L and R is 12. 3 and 9 is 12, and there were 12 disciples. Now this is just, let's just go with this for now. This is 12 disciples. Of course, we see the 3 where I talked about that worm in that last presentation. 3 is the creative number. 3 is the M, the W, and so on, and the B. Okay, and this is where it becomes 13. So we see here, of course, it is all flowing with the W and the E and the N. We've seen those things happen. All right. So Christ would have said to find the man with the pitcher of water. This is the water here. Now that is revelation happening here. This is why we have revelation. Revelation tends to kind of like elevate, brings things up to the surface, uncovers the bed sheet, the bed linen, and you can say, look at things from a new angle, because it's like you go to bed with revelation. You go to bed, you wake up, you go to bed and you wake up. This is revelation. I like that. Now that's the liver. That's the A liver. This is it here. It's revel. It's revel. And this is it. This is the A. This is the A that I believe it's like a hinge on here. Of course, the bracket is there to keep it in shape. That A has so much in it. That is the A that begins the free. A and free is really the same. Hence, 1 and free becomes B. A and free, because why is it the same? It has 3 lines here, yet still it is the one. And that's what the Trinity is about. So the Trinity is also A. Trinity, let's do this and have it on the record. Trinity, Trinity equals 3. Well, that is in, I haven't done the numerical value for, so let's say, let's do this correctly. In fact, my duster. Okay, all right, just for, so A equals, this is what I mean to say, A equals Trinity, A equals 3. Hence, we have the paper A3, A4, A5, A8. Oh my, this is just paper. Let's see what paper is. P-A-P, P-P-E-R-A-P, paper, E-R. I'm not sure I've spelled paper right. Okay, it just seemed like a word I haven't. So it's like 71759. All right. So 7-1. So that is 7 and 7, 14 and 1, 15, 20, 29. So that is 1. I mean 2 ones, which is 2. And that's the master number, which is Christ. This is the Jesus number here. So we see here how Jesus has come in the paper that we write on. Yes, paper is Jesus, right? And so now that too is going to really shed some light on what Christ was saying about it's like he was saying about to pleading with the Father, you've left me rowing, but the row again is something to do with the balance sheet, if you like, of a business. But they say the row, which is a ring. And remember, in those days, that's what they did. They scrolled the paper, row and row. Of course, it can row. This is what you carry over your balance sheet, and that's what it is. But we have taken this word rowing to be painful. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this now, and the idea, let's see if I can just really, it was really with the intention to look at 3, in fact, as well. Let's see what we did on here. Okay, the intention, we will get to that. We will get to this anyway. But of course, this is the thing that I do here. I may go with an intention, and it may seem about sometimes it's as if there is the spirit of expression that needs to be realized, and I just have to be receptive and go with it. So I hope you have found this insightful. I hope you have found it fun. All right, if you like this presentation, click the like button and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualize in self-love. All right, be blessed, be bright, and stay ignited. Namaste, and spill over with love.